too,
mobile.
too late.
On PC.
Too late. We're already started. All right, hello everyone,
No.
and we are welcome back to the semifinals of Identity v Manor Regulars, which well, today we only have one match today because one team has dropped out, and it's Asian Minions for the Scouts. So yeah, unfortunately, Fruit Juice dropped out, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, so that means that Tavet actually advanced to the finals. But here we are going to be like in the match between Asian Minions and Scouts. So I'm joined by who today? Wanna go and review yourself?
Hello guys, it's NX again.
Yay! So yep, it is NX today that will be in charge. And unfortunately, guys, I will apologize in advance if things are slow because our normal VC general moderator is not available, so I have to do their role. Also do their role today, so things will be a bit slow as I have to do everything on my own. Haha, that's unfortunate. So, NX, talk to me about like what you think about these two teams while I go and start the band picks.
Well, Asian Minions originally went against Scouts as well, and from what we saw that time, it was like a very big difference between Asian Minions and Scouts, where Scouts actually like lost for their Hunter and Survivor side against Asian Minions. But this time now we have all the way up to BO3. So because of that, I believe that Scouts might have a chance to actually redeem themselves for what happened previously.
Yeah, I'll agree with you about that though. And because don't forget, Scouts is the team that won my tournament, that won Manor Regulars Chapter 2. So this is actually going to be a very interesting though, because they are the defending champions. So hold on a minute. Now I'm trying to receive the information. Oh, we actually received from through telepathy that Corona is banning the ever, or rather Scouts is banning the ever sleeping town. So it's interesting though because from what we do know, Corona is a Breaking Wheel main, and Breaking Wheel are very strong in the ever sleeping town.
Yes, but remember, Breaking Wheel, despite being very good in Ever Sleeping Town, there were a number of instances where Breaking Wheel actually gets lost in the area trying to find the survivors. Like the two occasions, the two most famous occasions of Breaking Wheel getting lost is when Jafet and Corone both went to the basement to check for the survivor.
Ah, yeah, Jafet, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but someone just has to put a stab at you. I'm sorry, Jafet. I tried my best to preserve your reputation. But anyways, I actually think that now that I'm thinking, I know why is this an ever sleeping town. Remember what exactly did Asian Minions put against Scouts? Remember? Like, remember what the Asian Minions play against Scouts, Hunter, and BO1?
Yes, the Asian Minions actually played Mad Eyes, if you guys didn't watch. And for the Mad Eyes to actually be played in a tournament and having a 4K, if I'm not wrong, and slaughtering almost everyone in that scene was quite a shock.
Oh yeah, I do remember about that. Like, yeah, because I think that is exactly why. Because Mad Eyes is very, very strong in Ever Sleeping Town, and I believe that Mad Eyes pick did indeed like caught Scouts off guard last time. So I imagine this is exactly why they opted to like get rid of it this time. And let me check. Yes, thankfully I did unmute myself. It'll be embarrassing if we've been talking for so long and then everyone is just listening to an empty screen. So yeah, actually we've received news that Asian Minions chose the Red Church. So NX, what do you think about this Red Church? And I almost said Corona for some reason.
Somehow I became Corone.
Yes, the running gag of this tournament is the NX have like 1,000 names.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be named every people in this server at this point.
Alright, alright then Eli, what do you think? Alright then Sanity, what do you think? Everything. Okay, go on.
At this rate, I believe okay, because for Asian Minions to pick Red Church is usually seen as the type of map that is equal for like both survivors and hunters, and it's based on like your abilities instead, because church being the best place, but depending on what kind of hunter, like you know, the usual wax artist blocking off the windows and stuff, and it can change the game a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Sorry, I got distracted as I'm doing the band picks behind the scenes today. Uh, um. So yeah, I agree with you. But Red Church is not that strong with wax artists. But let's hold on. Let's sit down and recall. Oh, actually, I think my mic is too close to my mouth. I'll move it away first. So, from what we do know, is that let's like sit down and think of what hunter does Corona have, because we know that he has a breaking wheel. We also seen him with violinist Dream Witch and also Bonbon. So Wax Artist is a no at this map due to too many high wall areas, and also I believe the breaking wheel is also no in this map too because of it not being that good. So Corona's options from what we've seen so far are going to be kind of limited in this map.
Yes, but remember, Scouts does have a second hunter, if I'm not wrong. So if worst comes to worst, then I think they will play another hunter if that's even possible.
No, because you announce the order first and then you go for the map. So that is why
so that
Corona
means
is
Corone will be the
is
hunter.
up. Yeah, and we've received news that Corona has already banned the Seer.
So what character do you think Corone will actually play because of this kind of map and like options he has?
I mean, I think Dream Witch is an option. Remember that Jesus from last week? Wait,
Oh yeah.
were you the one or was that Jafet? Oh no, that was Jafet, not you.
I think that was Jafet, yeah.
Yeah. I think like oh the okay. So I received news from behind the scenes is that the first two being picked here is the Antiquarian and the Priestess. So actually Antiquarian is very popular in this tournament because like I guess I don't even need to explain at this point, number one harasser. But the Priestess
Yeah.
is, in Red Church will be a bit interesting. Priestess is not is the priority level for Priestess in the Red Church map is just not that high because there are not so many thick walls. But there is a potential of her looping around the church, so maybe this is what Asian minions are aiming for, is to like have Priestess spawn near the church and to just go merry-go-round and loop around the church.
Yes, and from what we remember, it's the logic is where, oh look, it's a priestess in church, might not be that good, but we forget that Asian minions has very good coordination from the looks of their team play, and because of that, that means if priestess, because of area selection, priestess spawning at middle would seem like the most likely choice. Because like, can you imagine the amount of support the priestess can actually give to their teammates by just putting portals around the church for them to kite?
Yeah, I can imagine that would be a pain to the hunter. But then this also means that it's a perfect makes sense and reasonable to just get rid of the root of all evil of the priestess first. But we are currently still waiting for the second bands.
And while
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
happening, I'm
we're
just updating
yeah.
my identity V.
Oh, take your time. Yeah, I apologize if we're running slow because I have to do everything my own because my normal general mod is absent. So alright, we received news at the very last moment of the first two survivors being banned. It's actually going to be the entomologist and the priestess. And actually, I believe this does make sense because the thing is that we recall that we actually seen Asian minions with their entomologists in the qualifiers, or rather the group stage. So it's no surprise that they're going to be coming up now. And the first officer will be the third survivor being selected from Asian minions.
Having a first officer selected, it's actually a very good like pick from the first survivor side, because like first of all, first officer has this logic where no matter what hunter you play, he is most likely like 90%, he should be able to actually pull off a rescue.
Yeah, exactly. In certain cases, he may be a better rescuer than the mercenary, because even mercenary can sometimes fail rescue against the bonbon. For example, with the use of bombs, the use of like getting terror shock and stuff. But first officer, take one bomb hit, and boom, you can instant pull off a rescue then. So I believe this is a very good call. Whilst Corone has chosen to ban the mechanic as the very final survivor ban.
So in this scenario, I believe that he's not going to play like any hunters that can map pressure, because banning mechanic meaning he wants to stop Cypher Rush at all costs.
Yeah, and seems that Asian minions does not like that because they reacted with a horror emoji, horror emoji in their chat. So the final pick is Acrobat, and actually, I think the Acrobat is just to round up like a jack of all trades because he can do everything apart from maybe like popping gates. Like he can kite, can rescue, can just do like lots of stuff. And yes, I realized I forgot to update the ban pick screen the entire time because things gets messy when you're on your own.
You're on your own.
Yeah, you're on your own. Like you know that
Yeah.
message.
The newest, most toxic thing ever.
Okay, through another power of technology, we received the news. We received the news of what exactly is the persona. So I'm not going to reveal it because this is not fair. So
Reveal it. Reveal it. Reveal it.
no, I'm not going to do so. This is going to damage the integrity of my tournament. Do you want my reputation of this tournament to be damaged, even though I know it's damaged due to the poor hosting? Oi!
Uh, everyone in one of my friends' servers just typing like we're on your own now because of what we said.
In your server.
In one of my friends' server, just one of them.
Ah, I see.
And anyways, someone else asked you to get well soon.
Wait, why do I have to get well?
I think because of your lack of staff and you suffering.
I mean, the running gag of this tournament is called Invisible. Let's watch Invisible Joe suffer, and oh my goodness, yes, I am excited to commentate at this because this is my current number one hunter, and she is going to be the water lady, Mrs. Grace, or wait, is she married, Miss Grace? The Naiad. So while okay, so now the situation is that we have to invite everyone in the tournament. So all right, I'm just resolving something behind the screens, the scenes. So now we have some time. Yeah, I think so. This will be a very slow tournament due to like the lack of staff and stuff. But anyways, so what do you think about this team comp over here, NX?
Well, this team comp is also going to be quite decent against Naiad. And remember, Corone's Hunter is all very limited. So I feel like for this team to pick characters like Antiquarian and Priestess, I feel like they already saw it coming from the looks of it.
Well, I won't say that they saw it coming because I think the bonbon is a prevention. It's more of a prevention, or rather, the first officer is a prevention towards the bonbon. But this Naiad Water Lady here, actually, this is a very good team comp because first officer pull off a rescue, and anti-Korean in some cases are also very strong against the Naiad too. Because we've seen through a Koa that the Naiad or the anti-Korean has the potential to smack the Naiad around like smacking a fish.
Yes, and Naiad is usually like, if Naiad chases Antiquarian at first presence, it's going to be very difficult because like the water isn't going to go up that fast, and if Naiad gets close, the Antiquarian can just smack her back and she won't be able to do anything for like the next few minutes.
Yeah,
Seconds, I mean.
Next few minutes. Imagine if you can smack a hunter and then he can attack for like 1 minute. All right. And next is hello.
Sorry, I'm also dealing with like some things.
Well, we all have our stuff. Yeah.
We're all suffering.
No, I think this is watch me suffer today because I don't have staff. And you scared me because for a moment I thought I had to do everything on my own, and this is like reminds me of the days where I have to like do everything, lobby, ban picks, everything on my own, including the stream, and this is like those nightmare days.
Yeah, guys, I woke up at like 1 and I scared Jong so badly.
Yeah, because like I don't have staff today, so I'm just trying to desperately have someone to help because like if I have to do everything on my own, this is just a let's watch Jong suffer arc again.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad, you know.
Oi! Do not build your happiness on top of someone's pain.
I shall and I will suffer, Jong.
Oi, Annex, do you want to everyone in the staff, do you want to, or in the chat, do you want to see someone lose their job on stream? I'm going to show it to Annex.
No, I'm kidding, bestie.
Yeah. Yeah, let's watch someone lose their job on stream. It'll be fun. What, Annex?
No.
Nah, I'm kidding. Okay, so... Alright, so if we... Okay, jokes aside, if we think about Nayat on who she can chase first, I think the priestess can be a decent target because the Nayat can actually pass through the priestess portals in swimming form. So this makes the priestess like portal settlement early will be more limited. And the acrobat may be a decent, or not decent chase, but 50-50 chase. Because the anti-quern will be a bit harder if the anti-quern is skilled enough, I believe. Oh, and have we started yet? If we have started, I did not make it in.
Yeah, we... Oh, yeah. No, we have not, we're not. It's still in the loading thing. Don't worry. Like we're still in the map thingy.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought I did not make it in again.
And as you can see, the priestess actually chose middle and...
Yeah, don't scare me because this tournament is just...
It's gonna be very hectic for you.
Yeah, and hold on, we're missing someone though.
They just left apparently.
Yeah, hold on, let me go and ask them what's going on.
Okay. Could you give me like a minute? I wanna grab a drink.
Yeah. It's kind of...
Also, could you check my like the screen share, see if it's working.
Alrighty then. Sure thing. As we're still waiting for.
Still waiting for one more member from Team Asian Minions.
Yeah, I'm just checking out your stream to see.
Is that sound by any chance?
Oh yeah, it's working. It's working. So no worries. If my stream does not, if my game does not work, I still have NX as a backup. So.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna run.
All right. Let's all watch NX go to the bathroom if he went to the bathroom a while. Nice! I did not make it in once again. So I guess everyone, thankfully, we are so prepared of this at this point that let's just use our backup plan. And the backup plan is let's all hop into NX's stream for today. Yeah,
I am back.
Yeah, it did not work. I'm using your stream. So this is, I guess the running. Honestly, we're so prepared at this point that this is not even surprising.
Yeah. Wait, are you able to hear any of the sound from my stream?
No.
Now?
Yes.
Okay,
Lower
have to
it.
keep it like this.
Lower it a bit. The audio.
I can't lower the audio.
Lower.
I don't know how to. It's in my settings.
Good point. Forget it.
Yeah.
So, Princess chose a spot at the center as we all predicted, and the acrobat is actually at a very strong kiting spot because or a weaker kiting spot, but because the shack there's a lot of places for him to transition, and I actually think this is a very good like area selection because no matter who gets chased, they can inch their way towards the priestess. So maybe the knight's best move here is to go for the queen of go for the queen here and aim straight for the priestess herself.
Yes, and from what we saw, like based on their picks, right? They are very much prepared to actually just like rotate the knight, because now the only best option for knight to actually swarm someone with the water would be the Antiquarian. But then, however, Antiquarian has her abilities to smack her back if she comes near, so it's gonna be very troublesome.
Yeah, you know like what they mentioned in Koa, smack the fish around.
Smacking a fish.
Yeah, so anyways, we are going to be in the game right now. We can see that Corona here will be inching his way towards the church, but never mind, not going inside the church, but going to be approaching Eli's acrobat, who is already rotating his way towards the church as we predicted before the game, just to utilize the priestess church strategy.
Yes, and as you can see, the acrobat is already getting chased and already at 55%, but him using a snowball is a good idea. However, Nayat does have the ability to just have a speed boost, you know?
Yeah, and one thing to note is that the acrobat was very high in moisture level, but actually managed to avoid the circle there, and that was a very good move in preventing any moisture damage, forcing a basic attack. But this basic attack is very early into the game though here, NX.
Yes, but remember, there is a priestess to give a supporting portal, and yeah, and the reason why he did that is because Nayats, even at the water form, can still go through portals. So
Yeah.
so him doing this actually helps like force the hunter to bring back the stick so that he doesn't get any water damage and speed.
Yeah, and over here we did see that Knight lost track of the acrobat for a split second, but back onto chase. So now Knight will once again be inching closer and closer to the acrobat, and he's already within blink range. So let's see, will that blink be occurring? This is a very crucial moment, but Eli here will be charging the bomb, and manages to dodge that.
Ooh.
It seems that Corona could have gone for the blink, but wanted to play it safe, and this allowed Eli to buy more time, NX.
Yes, and from the looks of it, it looks like he's just trying to force the hunter, and the hunter failing the blink. So for the hunter to fail blink, it's already gonna extend the kite by a lot, especially since you see acrobat having broken windows instead.
Yeah, that's definitely not a good situation for Nayat. So this is definitely unfortunate. And right now, Nayat, the best thing Nayat can do here is to just get closer and try to get down the acrobat as soon as possible to minimize his loss. But actually, I believe just now I saw that Antiquarian is already making her way over. It seems that the Antiquarian wanted to do a combo to smack the fish this time.
Yes, but right now we can actually see that. Oh.
Nope.
And no, the hunter's just getting played around by acrobat, and Antiquarian's already there preparing for the harass.
Yeah, but currently, Knight here is really struggling to get this acrobat down. But the acrobat has no more bombs, so this is one saving grace. So this will be the first down. But we have to recall, free several gun, and Antiquarian is in the vicinity ready to harass, but seems like it's not being able to put off due to there is a significant amount of distance.
Yes, and from what we can tell already, it's going to be a very like high chance of a win scenario for the survivor side, because right now there is only 2 ciphers left, while the Antiquarian is probably the Antiquarian and first officer. As you can see, first officer's already going to rescue, and now priestess can do 2 ciphers while Antiquarian's just doing 1 extra just in case.
Yeah, I feel like the only saving opportunity from Corona here is to pull off this Terror Shock, but this will be a very hard move. And manages to rescue in a very high amount of moisture, but 96, so close yet so far. And the first officer is able to stay alive, and this is not going to be helping us. The acrobat will make his way towards the priestess portal that's already set up in advance. So now the acrobat is 95 kilometers away from Corona.
Yes, and the hunter seems to be like quite shocked, because like now the teleport isn't even ready, and since the hunter's still in cooldown, they all can just heal up, and there's 2 survivors there that can heal the acrobat up. So this is really going to be like another game changer, where it might even lead to a 4-man escape at this rate.
Yeah, and actually we can see the acrobat is already out of sight at this point, as there's no traces of the acrobat. So Corona will be forced to chase whoever is in his face, and it's going to be the Night Owl's priestess. So this is definitely not a favorable situation for scabs at all. At this point, only 1 cipher remains. No one is dead off chair, and the last cipher is already at 72%.
Yes, and as you can see, the hunter's already looking around. So he doesn't want to change to teleport yet, because he's having like a what if I need to use this ability. And right now, the last cipher is already at an extremely high progress. As you can see, it's 99%.
Yeah, So the knight here is going to be inching closer and closer towards the anti-Korean just to try and desperately land the hit. Manages to form the mortar circle, but unfortunately not being able to pull off the hit, and once again getting smacked backwards, as currently the anti-Korean is going to have a very large potential of a very long kite due to her ability, as you mentioned.
Yes, and we can see the anti-Korean actually using the stick to vault just to not risk a terror shot, because right now they can just play as safe as they want, because anyone can just go to that last cipher.
Yeah, and or they can even start a new cipher if things are not looking good, and that's indeed the case. So,
yes, but despite them starting a new cipher, you can see Acrobat actually going towards the last cipher as well.
yeah, and actually, I think that I've seen the first officers digging for items. I guess they're trying to set up for a potential for escape if that is possible. But would that be able to pull off? Corona here is going to be doing a merry-go-round around the graveyard, just wanting to land a hit before all ciphers are popped, but not being able to do so. So this seems like it's not a good situation for Nayat at all at this point of time.
Yes, and from what we can see, the first officer actually put down a bot just to distract, and the hunter isn't falling for it. And now the gate's actually being open, and remember, the hunter has to destroy the bot, or if not, it's gonna change.
Yeah.
So because of that, the first officer gains that time distance, and he also has 2 pocket watches still, as you can see.
Oh
and
my
right
goodness!
And remember, the dungeon is at that location, so all first officer has to do is just extend his kite for as long as possible, and even save up his last pocket watch.
Yeah, well, the strategy for Knight here is to wait for the first officer's watch to pull off. So this is actually going to be a very crucial mind game, but gets the hit, and there's the dungeon escape. As we all recall, the watch has delayed damage. So what a way to start off! What a way to start off this game here, as Asian Minions manages to pull off a 4 escape in BO1.
Yeah, so for Asian Minions to have a 4 escape at BO1, and remember, we all talked about this, where first officer's pocket watch can really be such a game changer, disregarding no matter if hunter is detention or if the first officer is at half HP, even a quarter HP, and you can see how big of a change it can change the game from like a 3-man escape to a full 4-man escape.
I think what is more shocking is the fact that how the first officer planned that towards the end, because from what we recall is that he actually had a bot and dropped it at the gate and used it to pop the gate, forcing the knight to get rid of the bot, and then he instantly picked up his watches, which he dropped near the gate, to use it to kite out the dungeon. Like, this is such an amazing pre-planning from Asian Minion's side.
Yeah, and for Asian Minions to actually be able to pre-plan who gets the kite, and remember, first officer using the bot controller to distract the hunter to hit the bot, and also having 2 pocket watches just on standby, just in case things go badly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this is pure amazing. And now, oh, sorry guys, I messed up the scoreboard, Lamal. yeah, this is another running gag if Joe messes everything up, but.
Alright, so now as we can see, scouts have 5 points.
No. I'm changing it. No.
Yes, but congratulations to Asian Minions for like the first round having a 5-0, and let's hope that scouts can also pull off another 5-0 in hopes for their survivor side against Asian Minions. So who do you think Asian Minions is actually gonna pick as a hunter in this sort of map?
Well, Asian Minions, I'm actually trying to recall what hunter did we see. We only saw Night Owl, or Asian Minions hunter, or rather Night Owl, play 2 matches. One of them is the Mad Eyes, and the other one is going to be the Dream Witch. So, if we're going off based off the hunters that we do know, maybe it's going to be the Dream Witch, I guess.
Oh yeah, because in Red Church, Dream Witch is a very terrifying thing, especially if you do not recall where all the leeches are, and there could be just one waiting at the corner without you realizing.
Yeah. Actually, I say that there's no particular bad map. There's no bad map for the Dream Witch, because Dream Witch is viable. Oh, that scared me. Dream Witch is viable in every single. Dream Witch is viable in every single map. And hold on, let me clear up all the stuff on the screen, but we received the news so far is that the first ban and the first two picks are actually going to be a mirror ban and mirror pick. So it's once again the Seer being the first ban, Priest and Anti-Crim being the second, and if Night Owl is indeed going to be playing that Dream Witch, then maybe this actually makes sense so far.
Yes, and remember Bahamut being Bahamut being picked, meaning is that Team Scouts is actually preparing for a potential Dream Witch, but remember Bahamut's weakness is where if she gets like a patroller on her or even a blink, then her Dovlin would be completely wasted. And right now we can see based on this kind of like picks, it's going to be a very like for the bans, right? You see,
yeah, go ahead.
you can see the hunter just banning big characters like mercenary, psychologist. Those duo is always terrifying. And even first officer.
NX, can you update me because I'm too busy to go and check. So he banned the Seer first, and then who did he ban next?
He banned the mercenary and psychologist.
Yes. So it seems to me that Night Owl, because Night Owl is the hunter of this round, Night Owl is definitely preparing to play the Dream Witch. And I think Scouts probably predicted that. That's why they chose the barmaid. But the first officer being banned, it actually means that they may struggle with rescues because the first two rescuers are going to be getting rid of for this round, NX.
Yes, and remember, Dream Witch, their logic of winning is usually for them to do a damage control where they just continuously injure the survivors. And by doing so, like having just the Gravekeeper, and like meaning that if Gravekeeper goes to a half HP, then he won't be able to rescue again regardless. And the thing is, first officer's the only one that can go and actually pull off a good rescue without risking anything at half HP because of their pocket watch. Yeah. Meanwhile, mercenary, even though mercenary is good, if he gets hit from far with half HP, he still can get down at like when he reaches the chair because of the other leech. So because all of this is getting banned, is basically trying to say on the hunter side is I'm not going to let you pull off a second rescue against this survivor unless you sacrifice someone at this rate.
Yeah, so hold on a second. I'm just updating the ban picks. Yeah, first officer's banned, and actually they chose the Gravekeeper. And actually, I'm going to say this: the Gravekeeper may even be better against the Dream Witch than the first officer, because the Gravekeeper can dive underground, and the hunter can't really do much about it because there is an opportunity for the Dream Witch to chase the first officer first with the help of patrollers. But with Gravekeeper, it's going to be impossible because the Gravekeeper can just dive underground and ignore the patroller entirely.
Yeah, so this is one of the hopeful things that could happen because yeah, like what you said, the patroller can counter first officer very much, and Gravekeeper can just cancel that ability of the patroller. But then now the thing I'm scared about is mainly if the hunter knows where Gravekeeper is coming from, the hunter can just send like a main body there and then just to damage the Gravekeeper's shovel. And then now Gravekeeper's gonna have to like risk getting hit at the chair area, or even if he's very unlucky, he'll get hit from afar.
Oh, what am I seeing today? I actually did not expect that. I actually did not expect this, but if we think about this actually makes sense because hold on a second, let me.
Actually, this does make sense because because they did pick these sorts of characters like Priestess and Antiquarian, which counters that.
And next, are you in the lobby? If you are, please invite me.
I am not in the lobby.
Oh, Jenny.
My invitation got expired. Oops, I never saw.
Yeah, I'm just sorry everyone. Since I'm so understaffed today, I'm just trying my best to manage like 65 things at the same time. But if we think about this, is that the Gravekeeper against the Naiad, is it good or not? Like, I don't think it's that good because the Gravekeeper can also like dive underground and purposely eat moisture and then wait for the moisture level to expire, and then they're going to be forced out of the moisture. But then the Knight has no chance to do like a double hit on them. And NX, you're not the survivor for today. Oi, no stealing anyone's jobs.
Let me steal their jobs.
To everyone at the chat, remember, if NX does stuff like that, you guys will get to see someone lose their job live on stream.
No.
Yeah, today it's just me screwing with you.
Because two understaff already need to torture at least one.
I mean, I mean, it's not my fault that there's no one is around today. And actually, there was a hype opportunity that I cannot make it in today. But thankfully, I was able to pull some strings and manage to like sub in both my work and this at the same time. Like I had to like overtime today, but thankfully I managed to like convince my manager and do some stuff. So I'm free from work.
We got in already.
Oh, bruh, forget it.
Oh wait, entering character selection screening. Okay.
I'm not in again. But now we're prepared at this point. Oh, yep. I just realized I never updated that scoreboard, but I forget that. I don't bother at this point. Let's just wait. Let's just go to this. Oh yay! Everyone get to see what it's like on my screen.
Does my screen freeze whenever I do this?
What did you just do?
No, like I'm trying to move my screen around and then it just freezes on my screen. Does it freeze also?
Yeah, it freezes for a split second for me too.
Okay.
So, actually, if we're going to be thinking about this, is that there's actually free flywheel effects from Scout side. I think they were expecting a Dream Witch, but flywheel effect also equally works in front of a Naiad though. So this is one thing that is going to be the saving grace. But I think here the Naiad's best chase target is going to be the Priestess, as we mentioned, and the Barmaid is also viable too because get a hit, blink, and the Barmaid has the potential to go down under seconds NX.
Yes, and at the same time, if the Hunter's lucky, Hunter can just swarm the Barmaid's entire kiting area because like Backgate is a very susceptible place to actually get like the Naiad's water area. So Naiad can actually just ruin the whole kiting route for the Barmaid.
Yeah, but this is too situational though, because it depends on where specifically the Barmaid, or rather the survivor being chased, is at in order to like determine. And we're still waiting for your screen to crack as it's not cracking.
I'm waiting for the cracking. Oh,
yay!
Okay, cracked.
So Naiad is going to be spawned at the graveyard, and I believe the Barmaid at the graveyard is a highly likely target. And yes, it indeed will be the case, as Naiad will be throwing the harpoon at the side and going to be swimming towards, attempting to surround the entire graveyard. But Barmaid probably predicted that in advance, as she's going to be instantly running out of the graveyard without turning her head backwards.
Yeah, but right now, as you can see, it's already a trouble because because Barmaid actually got mind gamed by the Hunter, thinking that the Hunter would just go back and forth, but instead the Hunter is doing this now. But because remember, Priestess does have her portals to help, so Barmaid's running back into the Hunter without realizing.
Yeah, the Barmaid seems to have got mind gamed by the Hunter. Now there's a potential that Barmaid go down under second, and thankfully that did not happen. Because if that happened, this would be a huge disaster to the survivors. But I believe the Barmaid getting mind game counter loop is definitely a huge blunder on the survivors' end.
Yes, and as you can see, the Hunter's actually purposely drowning the Priestess Cypher, so Priestess can't decode as well. And Barmaid having a nice flying wheel to actually avoid, but Hunter does have Blink.
Oh, yeah.
So because of Barmaid using her flying wheel early, she wasn't able to use it for the Blink scenario.
Yeah, so this is actually relatively early down on the survivors' end, so things are definitely looking good for the Naiad currently. As now, Naiad will be throwing her harpoon at the side of the graveyard, just going to be swimming around, trying to form a massive mortar circle so that whoever goes in will be drowning and cannot breathe. As the Gravekeeper here will be charging in for the rescue, as the Naiad is prepared for him, waiting by the chair, just wanting to get a terror shock and gain something from this.
Yes, but Hunter was very patient and didn't even want to hit the Gravekeeper. Hunter wanted the presence. So the Hunter got the presence through the Gravekeeper and is now just just having a max presence. And it's going to be very troubling to actually go against a knight with max presence because, as you can tell, the 50% water in one go.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be agreeing on what happens because actually we can see currently the barmaid is going to be checked right back on the gravekeeper. So it seems that they did not communicate accurately on what exactly they're going to do because now the gravekeeper's cipher gets disrupted, and I believe there's an opportunity for the gravekeeper to come back in the rescue because the gravekeeper is still in full health.
Yes, and I think they actually had this plan because after a while the barmaid decided to go back to graveyard area.
Oh,
Oh, but unfortunately getting down again, and now she is dead. And because of this, our gravekeeper is gonna be chased. And remember, he's just a one water damage away.
yeah, so, he actually dived underground, managed to avoid, and the anti-current is here already,
Oh,
so it seems that there's going to be a party around as the anti-current will be approaching here, trying to save the day, and the priestess is also here. There's a whole party around, and
oh.
I'm not too certain on what is going on at right now.
Well, there's still two ciphers left, and the two survivors are still around this area, which is a very troubling thing. And barmaid using up self heal, which is not a very good choice because of this. Yeah, no one's going to harass because if barmaid doesn't have self heal, hunter can just keep hitting the survivors, and it will actually be a very big game changer. So unfortunately, we have already confirmed that BO1 is going to be a win for advantage side on for Asian minions. But we have to see from now whether Scouts is still able to get at least a 3-man or even a draw.
Yeah, so Knight is going to be using the blink here, but goes for a backwards attack, so it's going to be missing that blink and bounce attack as the fly effect will be utilized. So this is going to be a failed blink on the Knight's part, so as this priestess is still clawing to stay alive, just trying to buy as much time as possible for her teammates to just hurry up and decode so that they can go for a potential tie situation, NX.
Yes, and right now the last cipher is at 30%, and the priestess is really trying their best to buy time for the team. Meanwhile, if the priestess goes down, but get the parrot stunning. And now both Gravekeeper and Antiquarian are actually doing the last cipher, while you can see the priestess actually kiting around the last cipher. But she's gonna get water damage, and Hunter's just waiting. Oh, Hunter's just looking for the last cipher. So because of this, Hunter might actually go and pressure the last cipher.
I believe the hunter was trying to see if the anti-Quarian was in the vicinity, which was not the case, as now Night Owl is through the harpoon, seems to know where the Gravekeeper is, but going to ignore it and going to be rushing towards the last gate, but never mind, change his mind, and the Night Owl here is actually back and forth and not certain what to do. So, seeing this opportunity, the survivors will pop instantly, and we're approaching endgame, as Night currently has no abilities to utilize.
Yes, and remember, Gravekeeper does have another shovel, and it seems like Hunter just wants to chase the Gravekeeper because he has no, like as we know, he has no shovels anymore, so he's not gonna be likely to be the one to get his. Sorry, I got a notification.
Alright, I'll continue for now. Night Owl is going to be continue chasing the Gravekeeper and is able to pull off that down. So the question is that will the gates be enough though? Because from what I've seen just now, it's only 30%. It seems the gate would not be enough, but they're seeming to be rushing that gate. I'm not sure that's the best move. The gate is indeed open, but the priestess got stopped right at the tracks of where the gate is open, and the Antichrist is going to be forced out. So it seems that in an unexpected turn of events, this may be going to be a free survivor elimination, NX.
Yes, but remember, Gravekeeper has the self-heal, and so now he has to go and try his best to either sneak his way to the gate or go towards back gate area where the dungeon is at. And from the looks of it, it seems like the Hunter's already having an idea of where he might be because of Tinnitus. And even the trail mark giving himself away. So because of this, I feel like Gravekeeper, because he has no abilities, I don't think he'll be able to actually make it.
Yeah, the footsteps definitely betrayed him. At this point, there's just not much the Gravekeeper can do, as the Knight will be trying to confine the Gravekeeper to this area and is able to get that Terror Shock. So with that, I believe we have a result of round 1 as the Asian Minions manages to pull off the BO1 and a whooping 8-1 score, NX.
Wow, 8-1 score. Wait, 8-1 score?
Yeah?
Isn't it 9?
Why is it a 9? Because it's a free survivor elimination, right? NX. So, oh, did I leave the call by accident? Oh, bro, I left the call by accident. So
Jong, you left the call.
I wanted to
You
end.
left the call.
I wanted to end the stream, and then I accidentally left the call. Well, this is just one more of a joke. Okay, so hold on a minute. Let me.
We can just see whatever you're typing in the stream. Don't worry.
Oh, what? Oh yeah, bro, I'm still screen
Yeah.
sharing. Oops.
Yeah, we can see everything. Don't worry.
Oh my goodness. So, okay, first what I'm going to do is that I'm going to switch back to the scoreboard because I'm going to update it in a second. But it's an 8-1 because the thing is, it's 8-1, right? Because
Yeah. So Asian Minions going 8-1 against Scouts is a very big change for, like, it's going to be very challenging for Team Scouts because now for round 2 and round 3, Scouts really have to like catch up on this big difference on points, while Asian Minions can just most likely, if they're scared of like risking anything, they can just play as safe as possible.
I mean, they don't necessarily have to like get back the 8-1 score, but to do that, they'll have to win the next 2 rounds. Because here's the thing, getting a tie and a win will be very hard, like not a feasible option. Because the thing is, if you get tied, that means that you have to do a 8-1 score in one round, which is going to be extremely difficult. The more like easier or option is to try and win both BO2 and BO3 and then get the win by overall rounds rather than points.
Yes, and we have to see the fact where now, because of this, Scouts is going to be pressured, where the survivors are going to try their best to force out a 3 escape, while the hunter is also going to try and force out a 3 kill or even a 4 kill. So with this scenario, it's going to look like, hey, Scouts is gonna suffer, but we are gonna try our best still, because like we have to get like as much points as we can for round 2, so we don't suffer for round 3.
I won't say get as much points, but I'm saying they have to win, because like even if Scouts gets a tie at round 2, they still have to like pay the 8-1 debt at round 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so because of this, Scouts really has to start like hoping to get this whole win for round 2. If not, it might be a very challenging thing for round 3, where they have to like really force out everything. And what's worse is that because round 2 and round 3 are where hunters and survivors get banned, Scouts might actually start having issues because of like we all know what our Scouts hunters mains. So if their hunter mains gets banned, then it's going to be a very troubling thing for them.
Yeah, but actually now that we're waiting, let's talk about that last round. First of all, the first down was relatively fast because I think there are a lot of wasted potential on the Scout Survivor side, and one of those is definitely the barmaid getting counter looped, because after the barmaid entered the church, she vaulted out the window and went straight in front of the knight's face and was almost in risk of going down. I believe that she should have maybe like looked back and realized that the barmaid was not, or rather the knight was not behind her, because I believe if she just stayed in the church, she could have kited for a potentially much longer amount of time, because she would even have time to like make the second wine.
Yes, because like from what I see, I feel like the barmaid was believing that the hunter's gonna like go through the portal, but then because she never looked behind, she didn't notice that hunter was just going around and gonna like catch up with her from the shack direction. And honestly, if she had noticed, I believe that barmaid could have kited extremely long, especially if like she knows, hey, hunter's trying to go around towards shack, I can just go towards wedding direction or graveyard, and hunter's gonna just lose me completely, you know?
Yeah. So we're now hopping into BO2, and this is Scouts' turn to make the map selection. So Asian Minions opted to ban the arms factory first, and we're waiting on Scouts' pick. And actually, don't forget, because Night Owl from what we have received, right now is still the Hunter for BO2. Here they're going to be getting rid of the map that the Mad Eyes is weakest at, just to have the Mad Eyes option still available.
Yes, and remember, it's like scouts. From what I know, is usually for their favorite map to be actually ever sleeping, because most of the time we've seen scouts picking a map, it's usually at ever sleeping. However, we can see one of the scouts hunter just having a picking the survivors at this rate.
Okay, for context, I was asking scouts what map are they picking, and they attempted to pick Seer and Antiquarian as the map. And I'm like, oi!
Seer and Antiquarian is a good map, honestly.
What map is they? Like, is there a Seer map? Imagine if we're seeing a Seer map.
Just like when you look at the trees, there's like a bunch of owls looking at you.
This is honestly funny because scouts is pretty funny. Like, for context of those of you who weren't here last week, actually, like, scouts were using like actual pictures to reference as who are they banning. For example, they actually like when they have a prisoner, they actually post a picture of an actual prisoner, and when they picked Dreamwish, they posted a picture of Jesus and his followers.
Oh, oh no.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now the hunter is so sleepy.
Honestly,
the hunter for scouts.
this is honestly pretty funny. Honestly.
Yeah, the fact that the hunter for scouts is also like about to sleep already. So.
Oh, and by the way,
I mean,
talk about sleep. I know that there are some people not happy about it because I woke Enix from his sleep, and I also woke up Eli from his sleep as he told me just now I entered their VC. So oops, I'm ruining so many people's sleep with this tournament. Oopsies.
I was enjoying my hibernation and you woke me up, man.
Well, then how about let's just call me the Sleep Destroyer.
The sleep, god damn it, you sleep destroying man.
Deal with it. It's a you problem. Oh my gosh, I sound more and more like Fury. Okay. So anyways, wait, let's see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to swap back to the band pick screen. Oh yes, it's the correct one. So now we can start the band picks. And because it's a BO3... Oh no, I forgot to... I accidentally downloaded it at Transparent. Let me do it again. Oh, you know, like, these... By the way, I actually would like to applaud Jafet and Lambo because they are the ones who make these amazing screens. As artwork is the one thing that I'm bad at, so I have no clue how to make this. So yeah, thanks. Shout out to Lambo and Jafet who helped a lot as we're going to be starting this tournament or this bandpick.
Yes, and right now I'm also still reading some of the band picks and stuff, and I'm just thinking like who would they actually decide to pick as a hunter?
So
because we already see who they banned, like the first two survivors. You can see that, right?
Yeah, I saw it. I'm going to show it on the screen in a second. It's going to be the Seer Antiquarian, and honestly, just really no surprises. And while that we're at it, we actually want to talk about the new band picks, because the new band pick is going to be like, it's going to be appearing in Summer IVL, and it's actually going to be working like a global band system. Is that what happens is that the first two survivor you're selecting, the survivor being selected, will be ineligible for the entire game. So this is actually game changing. Have you heard of it?
So no. Not really.
Oh, basically, from now on, all bands they're only going to be 4 survivor bands in every round. But the difference is that, yeah, the first two survivors selected will be ineligible the entire game. So let's say you use Merc and Antiquarian in BO1, then you cannot choose it anymore.
Wow, that's gonna be a very very troubling thing. And wait, will this be used in like official tournaments as well?
Yeah, it will. It's confirmed that the Summer IVL will be implementing this. As for the tournaments, well, you know that I'm going to be casting an IVA, right?
Yep.
Yeah, IVA is going to be the KOA bands, but I believe any tournaments after the KOA 6 will like official tournaments after the Koa 6 will be implementing this ban.
Ah, and honestly, I feel like this ban's. I'm not. Okay. I can't say anything since it's an official thing. But my mindset is like, because in Koa, in all the previous Koas, they usually will give you extra like the golden apples thing if you answer correctly, and one of the question would be which character is used the most. So now, like for this one, for this Koa, the most recent one, the most picked character was psychologist. And now, because of this banning system, I feel like now every character is probably going to be equally used instead. So it's gonna be
yeah.
like, it's gonna be quite hard, you know?
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that you have to think carefully on when you want to choose what. I feel like you have to be very careful in when you want to choose what, because if you snatch like the strong rescuers in the first round, then in BO3 you'll have no hunters left, like, or no survived rescuers left. So you have to be very careful in what you choose. And also the thing is that there's a strategy for teams to like force out some of your characters and then swap into a hunter that plays characters that where the characters you already selected are good against. There's also a plan like that.
Well, okay, wait, sorry. I'm reading the ban things. So now, you can see like who got banned already.
Merc
right?
and Priestess, and then the Psycho is the next one being banned. But because of the Mad Eyes being the one banned, it actually makes sense. Because like we all know that Night Owl has a terrifying Mad Eye, so no one wants to deal with it, am I correct? No one wants to deal with it.
Yeah, because from the previous thing that we witnessed, the Mad Eyes literally tortured like half of the people, and I'm not sure if it was the same match, but I don't know who got hit by the tram.
Oh.
Because the tram has been hitting almost everyone that we've seen in Ever Sleeping.
Actually, I think Corona was Scouts against Tevet, I think. Or no, Calamity, and Scouts was the one that benefited from it. And like remember, like we made like a joke.
The tram kun.
Oh yeah. No, we called the Tram Scouts Junior.
Yeah, it's the best Scouts Junior.
Wait, let me check on what's going on. Okay, Psychologist and Gravekeeper. Oh, because Asian Minions forgot to... May have made a mistake ban, but no turning back. So, the barmaid will once again be selected. It seems to me that Scout is really going to be cautious against any potential Dream Witch.
Yeah.
Band Dancer, Prospector, okay.
Oh, but for the one that's watching the stream, so basically I'm NX and the other person is the host is John. Just confirming. Someone was asking me which one is me and the other person.
Oh, are they trying to like differentiate who is who between the both of us, or?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, I'm just trying to finish the screen, but the person talking right now is going to be Invisible Jong, and yeah, you may as well, if you're going to be watching IVA, then you'll get familiar with my voice because I will be casting an IVA that's happening next week, so I guess we can all look forward to that. And the other one is NX, who is my quote-unquote employee.
Yes, I am the... It's free labor at this point because I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, no. To be fair, we are all just a bunch of players who like this game, like organizing tournaments, and we just all came together, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
So,
I mean,
we
thanks
just met up
anyways.
and we decided, hey, let's be friends.
Oh yeah, because this tournament was actually birthed from Jafet, Fett, and I, because I wanted to host and Jafet helped me a lot, and hey, hence, Manor Regulars is born. Even though this Manor Regulars is very disorganized and not successful, I still appreciate all of you for helping me, supporting me, and joining. So yeah, and I love all you guys. Confession live on stream, yay!
Confession exposed.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I cannot even check the chat as I'm too busy working behind the scenes.
Well,
Oh,
from what we... Oh. Whoa, okay.
hold
I've...
on.
I forgot. Okay, so
Oh,
so this is going to be an interesting ban from... Uh, I mean, interesting pick, I mean, from Asian Minions as a hunter.
yeah, I'll agree. As this is going to be the geisha, but I actually think this geisha picks make sense because the geisha actually has a high potential against the geisha has a high potential against the barmaid, yeah, and also priestess might be, but definitely the barmaid because the one butterfly the barmaid cannot even regen the wine, so the barmaid is definitely going to be the best target for the geisha, and if the barmaid wants to survive, then she'll be relying a lot of help on the priestess or the prospector. But I'm going to say the scouts are not completely like disadvantaged because the prospector still has the potential to reverse a bad early game.
Yes, and from what we can tell, right now, because Geisha is getting picked in against this kind of team comp, where there's a mercenary, there's a prospector, the chances of Geisha getting harassed is and like losing sight of the survivor is quite high because like remember the map is ever sleeping, right?
Yeah?
And because the map is ever sleeping and priestess is open, so it's going to be a very interesting thing to witness because if Geisha gets harassed too much by a prospector, there is a chance that Geisha is going to lose whoever they were originally chasing.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that because the prospector does have a triple magnet, but that triple magnet trick got nerfed because he recently received a nerf, so now the magnet cooldown is on 6 seconds rather than 3 from before. And the other thing is if there are 15 meters, like if there's another teammate within a 15-meter range when the prospector stuns someone, then the stunning time will be reduced by 30%. So the prospector is no longer that strong as before in terms of like low close range battling.
Yes, and from what we can recall, like the only thing that Geisha, actually no, not the only, but one of the good things about Geisha in this map is that it's a long pathway, so Geisha can just use a butterfly and catch up so much distance against anyone at this rate.
Oh yeah, especially when they can fly in midair, one butterfly and then boom, they're right at your face. So this is definitely something for them to watch out because, like, if it's not going to be the barmaid, I'm just trying to think who else. And oh, are we in the lobby again?
Okay, the match just started.
Really? Okay, then screen share, please.
Yes, sir.
Ayo. Yeah, I think maybe I should just give up using my stream for any future incidents at this point. Okay, let me see if I'm prepared on my end.
Okay.
Oh yes, nice. I got that one out. Nice.
You didn't see that.
No, honestly, we are prepared for this. Remember, like day one, there are so many these incidents that we have to keep on restarting, and then we just gave up and just have you guys stream in case my game is a jerk.
Yeah, now I'm just having this. I'm like, oh, alright. But you can see the pick that the survivors have, and it's a very interesting pick, knowing that, like, hey, I'm gonna leave this one side of graveyard open, and it's gonna be like the weakest survivor, which is the barmaid. Now Geisha has to debate which side of barmaid is going to be at.
I'm actually going to be calling this a deep V, and actually interesting that they spawned the barmaid at the graveyard because the graveyard cipher is going to get locked. I wonder it was scouts trying to hide their barmaid though. But because based on this spawn, the priestess can also be chased. Because as I mentioned earlier, is that both the priestess and the barmaid are potential chase targets. So the priestess may very well likely be taking the first kite NX, I believe.
Yeah, but remember, priestess does spawn with one or two portals immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll be able to just use those portals to at least like either give that distance or just create like two fake portals and just run somewhere else where the hunter can get lost.
Well, I won't be so certain about getting lost though, because like this is not like a prospector. The only opportunity I see of getting lost is if the priestess successfully does a double backing situation. But Night Owl is going to be in the game right now and going to be marching its way towards Xanadine's priestess. And we can see that Xanadine has already rotated out in advance, does not want to get caught early, but Night Owl already saw it in one butterfly and has already closed up the gap between him and the priestess very fast. And the priestess is just going to be trying to use a portal here to extend the kite, as Night Owl hesitated and went back to break that portal, giving Xanadine some distance.
Yes, but because of this, now you can see the barmaid actually having her cipher lock. She went back up to double story area, and luckily the hunter didn't notice that that the barmaid was actually going upstairs. So because of this, now hunter just has to manually chase the priestess, who actually ran out of portals already.
Oh! But able to pull
still
off this.
getting the hit.
Yeah, that was a very good mic, and one more fly, and down goes the priestess in under seconds, and I don't think we all expected that, as early on the priestess did a very good job in not entering the hunter's attack hitbox, but because of that stun and vault, this actually gave the opportunity for Night Owl to use one butterfly to just fly back into his face.
Yes, and as we can see, the hunter's now going to pressure the mercenary, so mercenary is just forced to go and rescue at this rate.
Yep. Doesn't gain that hit though. The mercenary right now is just going to be looping around, just trying to buy as much time as possible, but getting that hit off. So this is not looking good, as this might be a potential double down situation, as the gauge is right back in front of the mercenary.
Yes, and as we can see, it is going to be a double down situation, and mercenary isn't even going to try and body block the priestess. So now this is just up to the priestess to actually just extend her kite, but but her using flying wheel is good. Hunter using blink, and now she's going back to die near the mercenary. As we can see, the mercenary went back to the same original cipher.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you noticed there, is that the mercenary went back to the same cipher, and this is not an ideal situation, because this allows Night Owl to know where the mercenary can potentially be, and this may potentially be a double chair, but the prospector is ready to harass, just trying to save the teammate, but pretty smart for Night Owl to just drop the priestess earlier in advance.
Yes, and sadly the prospector doesn't seem to want to continue harassing, and because of prospector going there, the hunter did spot the mercenary and will be bringing the mercenary towards the chair as well. So now because of this, it's going to be like a very troubling gameplay for the survivor side.
Yeah, but he's trying to do a balloon hit, but you have to be careful on how long can the mercenary be ballooned, as the mercenary is going to be struggling free. It seems that Night Owl got a bit too greedy, and this is going to haunt the that was pretty funny.
That was interesting. But now priestess is just escaping with her portals, but she already ran out of portals immediately because of her panic portals. So her doing that is actually gonna be very risky, because now she's gonna be down, and it's up to the prospector, who only has one magnet left, to actually harass.
Yeah.
And I believe he's already expecting the hunter to drop down, and the stun being able to actually help the priestess, but will he be able to body block? No, he will not. Luckily, he still has one more magnet, but unfortunately, the hunter already saw that coming.
Yeah.
So, because of this, it looks like the prospector will not be able to actually get... and the prospector might be getting a free hit at this point, where now prospector either has to force heal, and him force healing a priestess isn't really a good idea, because as we can tell, priestess health, although she heals fast, it's still not going to be fast enough.
Well, let's sit down and think about the pros and cons. The pros of that just now is the prospector actually bought a lot amount of time, but the cons of that is that the prospector himself is in half health, but actually we can see that there's only one cipher remaining at this point, because the prospector managed to drag out the time for so long with the two magnets and also the force drop and stuff.
Yes, and unfortunately, as we can see from that, there's 0 ciphers that actually has any progress. So now for them to have this is going to be very risky. Thankfully, the barmaid does have a heal for the mercenary, and mercenary can go for another rescue. But the difficult thing is how the hunter seemed to know where the mercenary is. And it seems like the hunter was able to spot them from such a distance, which is quite shocking. And the hunter knows that mercenary might not be able to reach. And a terror shock against the barmaid! So barmaid getting terror shock, and mercenary is not able to pull off the rescue!
What on earth did I just witness with my very own eyes? Because for a split second, it seemed that the prospector had managed to turn things around, as only one cipher was remaining, but out of nowhere, the geisha was managed able to stop both the mercenary and the barmaid in the tracks, and also the barmaid just giving out that terror shock. Like, things just went from okay-ish for the survivors to worse in just an amount of 20 seconds, NX.
Yes, and the most shocking thing that we've seen is how the hunter was able to actually spot the survivors at such a high area, and even threw a butterfly all the way up there and perfectly getting a hit on the mercenary before he even got to do anything.
The scary thing is that I don't even think the hunter had line of sight, because there's the entire building in his way. So I honestly have no clue how on earth did the hunter knew where they were. I guess the only potential I can think of is that based on where the ciphers are popped, he guessed the approximate direction, and that it was a jackpot.
Yeah, and I believe the hunter thought, like, since middle got popped by the barmaid, then the hunter thinks the nearest cipher is going to be upstairs, and since they healed up, then that means they should be upstairs. And the hunter was right, and got very lucky with actually hitting the mercenary, and the mercenary wasn't even able to get to the chair on time. And at the same time, because of that, we realized that the hunter never really used blink for the whole game.
Yeah.
And since Hunter didn't use blink, I believe that the survivors were expecting maybe a potential teleport geisha instead.
Mm-hmm.
And the most shocking part was when the geisha just blinked on the barmaid and getting a nice terror shock against the barmaid at the double story.
Yeah. I think the survivors must have forgotten that amongst all the chaos, because they did get found, which I think was definitely not in the survivors' plan. But looking on, there are actually a lot of things that could have been better on the survivors' end, especially the first early kite, and also the prospector. Like, remember, like, there was a magnet that bounced both the prospector and the mercenary? I believe that magnet was actually aimed at the geisha to try and stun, to allow the priestess to gain distance, but unfortunately he threw it on his teammate instead, and the consequence of that is that it allowed the barmaid to allowed the geisha to not get stunned and to instantly follow the priestess through the portals. So even though the priestess made a double portal in a row, she wasn't able to gain a lot of distance from it, and as a result, still goes down very fast.
Yes, and because of this, now Asian Minions is having another 5-0 against Scouts, and now Scouts' Hunter side has to really push, and even if they push, they are going to get a tie, meaning that round 3 is where they really have to get a 8-1. If not, Asian Minions is already going to have a win in this scenario.
Yeah, and hold on, we'll start the band picks in a second, as I'm busy on updating the screens. As once again, for those of you who know, I am alone today, so I'm trying my best to do everything. Doing my best to do everything on my own, but just one more thing though. It's a hello, Joggy. Did not expect to see you here. So.
Oh wait, yeah, the hunter did use blink most recently. I didn't see. So hunter did use blink after priestess get first rescued.
Yeah.
Thank you to my friends who had to remind me of that.
I mean, it's very easy to forget stuff amongst all the chaos, man.
Yeah, and the ending part was the most chaotic, where the mercenary getting healed and he got hit before he even made it towards the chair. Like, he was so far from the chair, he wasn't even able to rescue. But I wonder, the 3 elbow pads.
I actually have to rewind that, because I wonder, could he have made it because he actually had 3 elbow pads in his service. So I do wonder, could he have made it, or what exactly happened. But I actually also want to ask ask the hunter how exactly did he knew where they were. If Asian Minions wins, then I'm going to ask them in the interview, but never mind, we're starting now, so.
But that is a very shocking thing to have Asian Minions Hunter just predict such a thing, and having them predict such a thing, and as well as like terrifying every survivor possible at that area in just like a span of what you said, 20 seconds.
Yeah, exactly, because like as I said, this was a 4 survivor elimination game from the start, but the survivors did actually gain a bit of momentum back when the mercenary struggled free, because that was a bit of an error on the hunter's part, that he got a bit greedy, and then it seemed that it would be back to tying game, but the hunter being able to know exactly where the survivors are just threw the game off balance.
Yeah, and the most terrifying part is like how, despite there's 1 cipher left, someone's already gotten chat and as we saw just now when I clicked on the map thing, we saw that like no ciphers were actually being worked on. So meaning that when the person got chat, the ciphers only 0%. So meaning that if the person gets rescued, they have to really kite for an extremely long time. And we also noticed that that prospector that got chat, he has no more magnets because he used it all to try and save the priestess.
Okay, for those.
Oh my!
Okay, first of all, we can see the priestess and anti-current being banned on the screen, right? As the intense music, I believe, is playing on stream. And then, Asian minions are opting to be getting rid of the Dream Witch, which Corona is upset because Corona plans to use the Jesus photo.
Which is funny, Jesus and his followers.
Yeah, no followers. I guess there's no Jesus today.
Sad.
So Dream Witch will be banned, and we're waiting on the first 2 survivors being selected. Okay, wait. The female dancer and the mechanic are the first 2 being selected, and this is actually a rather interesting pick, I presume, because female dancer and mechanic, because normally in the games where the survivors only need a 1 out, they will opt for a more safe approach, such as the mercenary or psychologist or first officer, like steadier characters. But because the mechanic is more of a fragile character, so I'm not too... Like, I understand that the mechanic has a decoding buff, but in games where they only need a 1 out, normally mechanic is not on the first on the list, NX.
Yes, but I believe they are choosing mechanic because they just want... Instead of wanting a 1 out, I believe they just want to try and get as many out as possible. So to have like the biggest difference where like BO3 might not even be related in this.
Yeah. No, because the thing is that all they need is a 1 out and they win.
The whole tournament.
Alright, so now Asian Minions has 2 minutes to lock in the personas in the chat while NX, can you tell me what is the bans while I work on it? I'm up to the first mechanic and female dancer, and I've just seen that Prosp and Seer are the 3rd and 4th being banned, right?
Yes, and the next survivor being picked would be the cowboy.
Ah, interesting. I actually think cowboy does make sense because his lassos and he can do stuff.
Yes, and before we even were able to tell like what to ban or pick next, they already are picking and banning by themselves by default.
Yeah, I guess they're very familiar with these tournaments that they don't even need our help.
Yeah, and now we can see that the hunter actually banned Patient in this map.
Well, Patient actually is very strong because there's some 2-story areas for the Patient to fly hooks around, I presume. So it also does mean that Corona is playing a hunter that's not good against the Patient because Patient is weak against the Geisha, which is something that we have to remind of. And yes, the Batter is going to be the last survivor being picked. I'm trying to see have Asian Minions locked in their persona yet. Yeah, they did. Everyone can hear me typing, Lamau. So...
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Cool.
I'm not sure if I agree with this, though. Hold on.
Against this team comp, having this hunter against this team comp is like somewhat understandable, but it's a very risky thing. It will be good against mechanic, I believe, because if mechanic's bot is decoding, mechanic might not be able to focus on like the bot and herself, where the hunter can just, you know, destroy the bot.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Hold on, let me get you. Alright. So here's the thing, because Galatea against the mechanic, I'm not too certain if I will agree with it. Because the thing is that the mechanic NX, invite me.
Okay.
Because the mechanic is strong against camper hunters, because even though if she gets shared fast, she says the bot.
I got kicked out.
What?
I got kicked out. I felt like I saw. Wait. Okay.
because she still has her bot to control, but so that makes Galatea weak or mechanic strong against Camper Hunter, which Galatea is, surprise surprise, a camping hunter.
Oh yes, and right now Galatea being a camping hunter can actually help potentially change this game where the Scouts Hunter has to get a win. But because of this, it's also very risky because remember, Galatea isn't really that good at the start, but at max presence is where she actually shows. And from what we can see from Asian minions, their tactic is to usually just not let the hunter get any presence.
Wait, let's see. Oh, bruh, I failed all my attempts to make it in today, so thank goodness you're around today.
Thank goodness I downloaded PC version of Identity V.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing though, is that you mentioned that the Galatea can, as a camping hunter, and can get 4K through it, right?
Yes.
But there's one easy way to around it. Just don't rescue. Because look at this, NX. Look at the personas. Is it just me, or did I not see a single tide turner?
Well, from the looks of it, it seems like they do not want any tide because from the looks of it, really, they just have Cowboy and Better to be harassing constantly. So all they need is the first kite to be very long.
Yeah, you know what they say? You're on your own. And hold on, I think I just realized something even more terrifying. The Cowboy... Wait, let me check. Free... Borrowed time is free, right?
Yes.
The Cowboy and the Batter has no borrowed time.
Huh? So from the looks of it, they are really just playing this. They're just playing around with this at this rate.
No, the Cowboy and the Batter brought flywheel effects and broken windows. They have no borrowed time.
Yeah,
So-
and for them to not bring borrowed time, meaning they are just aiming to do whatever they wish to do at this rate because of they're probably very confident already that they can at least get a one escape. So they're probably just going with like a sacrificial survivor at this rate.
I believe what they want to do is that they just want to prolong the kite as long as possible, to prolong their first kite as long as possible because they have both of the kiting personas. But the downside of that is that things can end in a disaster if the situation is not right in endgame. So this is really something that we should look out for.
And what we could see is that Mechanic still has borrowed time, so because of this, and somehow Hunter spawns beside Mechanic, so Hunter's most likely gonna go after the Mechanic first.
Okay, let's see, would that indeed be the case? Yep, the Mechanic will be the one taking the first kite, but we see that she did not drop her bot until just now. But the tram is going to be here, and you have to respect the tram, as even though it's Scaps Jr., you still don't want to get crushed. But never mind, seems that here the bot did get caught though, as Corona will not be aiming for the bot and going for the Mechanic and getting a chip and a hit. Wait, oh, never mind. And a hit early into the game.
Yes, but so Mechanic getting hit early into a game, but as you can see, Better's already harassing at this rate.
Yep. Trying to protect the Mechanic, but the Batter will be the one taking the kite. And let's see. Oh, manages to hit the Hunter away. That was a very dangerous situation. As the Batter here is staying alive, and Galatea, it seems to have lost the Mechanic. As the Galatea must have thought the Mechanic rotated behind the building, but no one was there.
And then now Better's just there, so the Hunter has to chase the Better next, and Better can just go and fool around, and Better's like, yeah, you're not gonna get me at this rate. I have a ball, and even you have the slow thing. So because of this, Hunter's just gonna have a suffer. But Better used Flying Wheel because I believe he forgot that the Hunter has a slow swing, especially in such a slow area.
Yep, but the Galatea will be continuing to chase, but look at that, there's another slow box in front, and the path has already been slammed, so the Corona cannot even break it, and he actually wanted to get rid of the bot by using the statues, but seems to be able to get rid of the bot, so this is one saving grace is that he managed to gain presence through chipping.
Yes, but as you can tell, the Hunter's already wasting so much time, and is not even able to down a survivor, and one cipher is already done. As you can see, the cipher progress all is quite high already, and he's still chasing. He ends up chasing all the full HP survivors. Right now, as you can see, Female Dancer. He saw where Female Dancer went.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that he needs a forced survivor elimination. This is definitely not looking too good. too good for him. The one saving grace is that the female dancer has lost 2 boxes and the batter only has one ball remaining. So the items have been expended a lot on the survivor's end. That's one saving grace. But would that be enough though? Because the thing is that the survivors are just buying a lot of time here, and Corona is still struggling to down any survivor.
Yeah, and as we can see from the female dancer's speed boost, she has. We forgot that female dancer does have an extra speed boost when dropping from a high place.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, when female dancer dropped down just now against the sculptor, and as you can see, the sculptor did get lost get stuck for a moment, and all the ciphers really have an extremely high progress. So the hunter of scouts is really messing up here, and it's very scary that the survivors team comp is very fixated on like just buying time for the team and also gaining that distance.
Yeah, because the thing is that Corona has actually brought excitement rather than blink in a gamble against his batter, and it's not working in his favor, because without blink, Galatea's early game is just way too weak, as you mentioned before the game started, NX, and we're seeing Galatea's weak early game coming into play as Corona is struggling to gain any chips onto the survivors.
Yes, and right now they're just, at this rate, they're just abusing the Hunter, because I believe they already know that Hunter does not have Blink, because Hunter would have been using Blink quite a while ago, but instead Hunter has Excitement ready, as you can see. And because of that, at most we can see Hunter using Excitement against the batter, but I believe that might not be so.
Well, I believe the Hunter has Trump card, because if he does, we'll have to see if the Hunter has Trump card though. We know the fact that he has fast pallet breaking, but if he has Trump card, it may be better off saving it, as currently still not being able to chip anyone, as we can see that everyone is back in full health. It's like
we can even see Female Dancer opening a chest right in front of them.
Yeah, because the survivors can just play it slow at this point and just divide and conquer and decode 2 separate ciphers to make sure that no matter what, the cipher progress will be enough, and they can actually also consider sacrificing whoever gets down first, because they only need a 1 out, not a 4 out. And Cowboys Lasso coming into play.
And from what we can see, Hunter. Oh, okay. From what we can see, all 3 ciphers has progress. Not one cipher is at 0%. The last 3 ciphers for this last cipher is all above 50 and 20%. So, and the Cowboy is just constantly assisting in the harassment. Hunter's not being given a chance to even get a chair at this rate.
I believe there was a very good flywheel effect on the batter's end, as the batter managed to evade that tight range hit and able to vault through this pallet, still being able to survive with the help of broken windows. He's once again 65 kilometers away from the Hunter, and Corona is just have no
remember,
distance
they're
at
just
all.
going to pop the cipher. They're just going to pop the cipher because Batter does not have any of those abilities. So
yeah.
And ciphers already pop, by the way. Ciphers already pop and they're on their way to the gate.
Yeah, and the thing is that Corona currently has no full presence at all, so this is not looking good. He also has no detention, so the survivors, if they want, they can actually go for a 4th survivor escape too, because the mechanic is already in the vicinity and the whole family is here to protect this batter, but will they be able to? This chip will be very critical here.
Yes, but remember, Hunter now has max presence, so they really have to body block to their fullest content. And from what we can see, Hunter doing this and
the entire family is here. Well.
Now they're all going down. They're all going down one by one.
Yeah, but
the gates are both open. That gate is already open, and remember, none of them have tied. However, they just need a 1 escape, and from the looks of it, I feel like they're just fooling around at this rate. Because as you can see, the Cowboy is literally crawling to the gate.
Yeah, because the thing is that there's just nothing Corona can do, because if he goes to pick up the Cowboy, then the female dancer will save the batter. And not to count that the mechanic is also popping a gate, will probably be popping the back gate though. So I feel like at this point, it's just going to be, it's already likely confirmed that Asian minions would be taking the win and advancing the finals. It's just a matter of fact what happens here, as the whole family is here.
And the Hunter hit the chair, and now female Hunter can just body. This is just abuse at this rate, from what we can see.
Well, the entire family is here, so let's see which member of this family.
They all use flying wheel. This is just abusive.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
funniest thing is that they both used flywheel effect at the exact same time.
Yeah, and we can see them using the flywheel at the exact same time. It's just a very interesting match where we like originally we got confused because is the female dancer supposed to body block? But then we noticed that the two people at half HP, the cowboy and the batter, they both went behind to body block the mechanic the female dancer instead, which made it even more confusing. But what we realized after that is when both of them used flywheel at the exact same time.
Yeah, that was honestly very funny, and what a way to end this match. But to be fair, like because of the must for survivor elimination, so that means that Corona will be under a lot of pressure. So that's why he had to go for a risky strategy that did not pay off. And we can see that Galatea is very weak in early game, as you mentioned, and that unfortunately came into play here as he wasn't able to land the statues onto Asian Minion Survivor, which is not in his favor at all.
Yes. Also, your screen is black, by the way.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
My stream?
Yeah.
Oh, I know why. I forgot to put this on loop.
So it's actually very shocking to see them just both of the survivors at half HP use flywheel at the exact same time, and because Hunter never brought detention, it really like made it even more torturing where they all just had a 4-man escape, despite none of them having tied and two of them not even having flying two of them not even having borrowed time. So them being able to do something like this and still getting a full escape is just basically them just saying we are here to torture the hunters at this rate.
I'm pretty certain their plan is that whenever a survivor goes down, they just instant sell. That's why there's no time turner.
Yeah, but as we can see, they really bought a lot of time, where the batter actually helped harass to the point that Mechanic couldn't even be found by Hunter.
Yeah.
And because Mechanic couldn't be found, Hunter chased the batter for 90% of the game. And because of that, we can also tell that since batter kited for that long, and the gate and the cipher was able to even pop, and the gate was already open.
Let's go.
This can happen.
Let's go. The person is ready for us.
Oh, the person ready for interview. Oh my.
Okay. Hello, Eli. Hello. So yeah, we got a lot to ask. But first of all, you guys won and advanced to the finals tomorrow. So how does it feel?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. We definitely came into this tournament wanting to have some fun and doing our best, and so far everything's working out nicely, I think. So.
Yeah, I actually have a lot to ask because that last game, when we were watching, the funniest thing we've seen is that both of you, the cowboy and the batter, used the flywheel effect at the exact same moment, and I wonder, was that planned or was that really just pure coincidence?
That was honestly pure coincidence. Yeah, I was trying to body block them, like, all right guys, I'm gonna body block. And then all of a sudden they both just run behind me and get in the way. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they both flywheeled at the exact same time. And I was just like, what? And I was like, we all started laughing. It was pretty funny, but it worked out nicely.
Yeah, that was probably...
It was really shocking.
Yeah. I'm going to say this is the single funniest thing I've ever commentated. Seeing two flywheels at the same time. Oh, another thing, I'm not sure if you know because it was more of the hunter, but in the BL2 first half after... the geisha chaired, he knew exactly where the mercenary and the barmaid was and was able to cut that off. So didn't exactly know that how was he able to know exactly where the other two survivors are at?
I'm not sure exactly. It could have been I'm not sure. I have to ask him. It could have been he guessed, or maybe sometimes with the game, like the buildings load in slow or something, and sometimes you can see your stuff. I'm not sure, to be honest, but I guess just a prediction maybe.
Yeah, because that actually reversed the entire game, right? And next, like, we're so shocked that it went like it. Yeah. It seems like the survivors were able to claw back a tie, but then things went bad from worse in under 20 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, like from the looks of it, at that last moment, I really thought like Asian Minions just lost 2 survivors on the spot and it might turn bad. And then suddenly like all sorts of things started happening where 2 of you even used flying wheel, which made me so it was such a shocking thing to witness, honestly.
Yeah, we were actually in our band pick and we were like, oh yeah, so what personas are we gonna use? And then both Panda and Oxygen are both like, oh yeah, no, I forgot. Brandon was like, yeah, no borrowed time, I want 912. And then Oxygen's like, yeah, I also want 912. And then they just both went 912. and then yeah, we just had no borrowed time.
I mean that can work because the thing is that I'm pretty sure your plan is to just sell whoever gets shared first, so that
Right.
can work.
Yeah, well, honestly, it was kind of interesting because we were going to the match. We were like, you know what, we're just gonna form it or no man. Whatever happens, happens. And it actually worked out. So.
Oh yeah. I also want to talk about the BO1 first half because like we were able to see that towards the end game, you guys were able to pull off the 4 escape, especially the first officer being able to use the mechanic bot to distract and then pick up the bots. So like, I feel like that was a very amazing pre-planning on your survivors part too.
Yeah, it was definitely a very good job. I'm not exactly sure. At that point in the game, I was just going for the gate, so I have to watch back and see what he did exactly. But yeah, I think that was just really good thought process by Oxy there, just thinking ahead with the bot and then having the watches. Because he said he picked up a bot, and I was like, okay, so he doesn't have his watches for endgame, so there's a good chance he's gonna die. We'll get a 3 escape. But then we see him use his watch and get dungeon. We're like, oh, whoa, nice play. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, but yeah, I'd have to go back and watch it. But
Yeah.
it was a very smart plan from him for sure.
Basically, he brought the bot and the pocket watch towards the gate. So
right.
he used the bot for the gate, and then it distracted the hunter, and then he just went to pick up the pocket watch and just kited around graveyard.
Yeah, very good game sense. Then that's yeah, it really clutched up.
Yeah, that was amazing. So, NX, if you have any more questions?
No, I'm just shocked.
Okay, I'll ask then. You guys will be playing against Tevet tomorrow in the finals in BO5. So, you guys confident for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we're definitely pretty confident. Again, going into this tournament, we definitely had high hopes for this. We have a lot of good skill, a lot of good players on our team. So I'm very happy with how this tournament shaped up and how our players have played thus far. So I think as long as we continue just with the current pace we have as of right now, I think we should be okay.
All right then. Thank you for the interview and yep, thank you for everyone at the stream. So this will be the end of today's stream, and we'll see you tomorrow at the finals between Tevet and Asian Minions. So bye guys, bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right.